Hi there. A lot of interesting debate on the radio yesterday, today. Well, it's been flavour of the week. One of the sort of secondary news items that's been a flavour I've been picking up on the radio when I've been driving around as well in the car. And that is the use of our cell phones and how we tend to use them. It's been reported now that there's about 78% of the population of the UK have a smartphone in the UK. So that's a lot of smartphones that are in use now. And people are looking at them at least once every 12 minutes. Now, I don't know how they've gathered that information exactly and how realistic that is. I certainly don't look at mine every 12 minutes. But then again, I know I've got people in the family who are constantly on theirs. They go everywhere with it. I mean, Roxy, when I go into her room, every time I go and see her, she's got a phone in her hand, talking to someone or looking at something. I know Lexus is even taking his in the shower with him because I hear he listens to his music on his mobile, on his phone. I keep calling them cell phones. They're smartphones really these days. But I also know when I try and phone any member of the family on them, they don't answer their phone. So whatever they are, they tend not to be used too much as phones these days, and it's convenient. They're used for lots of other things. All the other apps that go onto a phone are far more important and far more interesting than taking a conventional telephone call from me in this family. So. Yeah, but I mean, we all use them. I mean, Richie's got one. Well, she doesn't use it really at all. I've got to say, she's hoped is also answering her phone as a phone, but she also doesn't use it as a smartphone in any other activity as well. So, what is it you good for? Well, for me, I'll give you my experience on a smartphone as a 63-year-old, because there's been a lot of debate. Are they destroying human society? Are they stopping us from having conversations with each other in a physical way, emotional way, that sort of thing? And really, people have been laying into it technology-wise. There's been a lot of anti-technology people on the radio this last couple of days, as well as ones that are for it, obviously. Well, although I'm 63, I'm very much for the technology that we have in our world. I mean, I think it's useful. It's got to be used. It can be used for so many different activities, and I think it's something we should all be embracing. The reason why, of course, this is becoming a strong debate is because obviously all this sinister stuff that's done online, grooming children and all these horror stories you hear that hit the headlines occasionally. Well, I think that's out there anyway, isn't it? And we have to have guards against that type of thing. But I don't think we should stop technology. I mean, I use my mobile phone I don't use it for, I mean, I've got an email, it's linked up to my email account, obviously, so although I receive emails on it, I very rarely use it, because I'm one of these people who looks at my emails in the morning, sends out what I need to send out on my laptop, and I work from my laptop or my desk computer when I'm sending emails or receiving emails or working on other reports. So I do that in the morning, usually early in the morning, and I might then also check my emails in the evening time, early evening time as well, unless I'm working on a report or something that has to go out the next day and I'm extending time. Very rarely these days do I do that, but that's it. I'll then use my laptop for other things as well, obviously doing presentations and things like that. But I don't use my mobile phone for emailing. I could do, but I don't, because I've set myself a discipline of saying, right, that's what I'm emailing, that's when I'm emailing, and that's when I'm going to check my emails. Now, if I had to do something in an emergency, I have the facility to do it. but I don't. I rarely use it. If I want to get someone quickly, I telephone them, or I text them, or I send them a WhatsApp message, okay, which is, again, the first probably useful app I use on my mobile phone. It's WhatsApp. Because I talk to people in different parts of the world, I just find, and who tend to also be linked to WhatsApp, and WhatsApp was introduced to me actually by somebody overseas, not by me saying, oh, what app can I use to make life easy for what I'm doing? It was somebody who was also contacting me from another part of the world that said, Simon, use WhatsApp. So that's why I got onto WhatsApp and used that. So what other apps do I have? Well, I have Facebook on here, but again, I don't use Facebook on my phone. I use Facebook on my laptop, because when I sit down to relax and I want to catch up on stories or catch up with old friends, and I do keep it to friends in Facebook. I don't, I've got a relatively small amount of followers on Facebook than people that I'm following. So it's Facebook is family, it's friends broken down into old school friends, old work friends, and just people I've associated with closely over the years, across the world that I've been in touch with, people that have come close to me over the years and developed, and it's served a great purpose as a facility for that communication. But again, I've got to be honest, I don't use my mobile phone for it, not even the messenger portion. I use my laptop. I guess it's because the phone is, for me, still, it's about talking to people or messenger, texting them quickly, more than anything else. It's there, but I don't need it for that. What else do I use my phone for? Well, I use it for finding locations. Yes, I've got on in terms of maps, Google Maps and the iApps, etc. Yes, I've got sat nav in the car, but sometimes I'm in a city and I'm walking across the city, and I'm looking for an address as I walk across London, for example, or Sheffield, or anywhere else. And it's just a useful app because it gets me around from point A to point A, point A to point B quickly and efficiently. So I find that a useful app, and I do use that on my phone because obviously I'm out on site. What else do I use? I sometimes do when I'm in a retail outlet and I'm wanting to do a price comparison. I've got to admit, I do use my WhatsApp for that, because I want to find out about the pricing of a particular product in another outlet somewhere else, just before I make a purchase, for example, something like that. It's also when I'm on the move and I'm looking, I need to get some information quickly. It might be on a particular business or authority or anything at all. I want to get something quickly. I want to confirm an address, or I want to confirm a location. I want to confirm a little piece of information. I use my smartphone to gather that information because I'm on the go. I'm on site. But most of the time, I'm using my smartphone for answering calls or making calls. And that's all I use it for, or the odd messenger. I certainly don't use it every 12 minutes, and I try not to. I only use it when necessary, quite honestly. So some days I may look at my phone twice in the whole day. I don't, it's not a question of I carry it with me most times. The only time I don't carry it with me tends to be when I'm at home. So I'll put it on my desk, and I could be in a different part of the house, and it gets, so if somebody rings me and I have to ring them back because I didn't hear the phone ringing, that can happen. But that's how I use my smartphone. the debates going on in the country at the moment about smartphone usage and how they are destroying lives is absolutely crazy. It's all about the people. People have got to learn how to use bits of kit and then use them accordingly. Don't let the bits of kit rule their lives. Don't let the bits of kit become an extension of their anatomy to the extent where they're going into the shower with it. I think that's really what it boils down to. And yeah, well, I mean, one of the things was also quite interesting with technology. When I am in a meeting with people, particularly on people who are in the sort of 30 below age group, I tend to getting attention is all, they're always looking at their devices, computers with their screens open and their phones on the table, looking that constantly. They'll be listening to what you're saying, and but they're also looking at something else at the same time. It can be very frustrating, actually. It can be quite annoying. But I do understand it's the world we live in now. People of a younger age, not me, but people of a younger age can dual function, I suppose. They can be checking their texts, checking their emails, checking what they need to be doing on Facebook, and be listening to me talking at the same time, and deal with all of it. I guess they can do it. I can't do that. I've got to be honest. I can't do that. These people in their younger cocoons claim they can do that. So I'm not going to argue with them. These are the leaders of our country these days, no doubt. So I've got to say that's where I am with smartphones.